I mean, we are working on this now. I mean, we've taken a fork of the Uniswap technology, we've taken a fork of the Aave technology, and we're kind of developing our own regulated versions of that. So you kind of underneath a regulated umbrella, you have regulated instruments on those DeFi venues. And I think that, that is hugely exciting.
Ripple just won over a DeFi godfather. Robert Leshnar, one of the earliest DeFi founders on Ethereum, is now looking to back crypto entrepreneurs building decentralized applications on Ripple. I'm always constantly trying to give you guys the juiciest of the juice. Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another CYPRX video banger. Wow, do I have a bunch of juicy information for you all today. We're going to be listening to some video clips from some individual participants at CYPRX tell you all that regulations are coming for the DeFi ecosystem, and this is just going to go hand in hand with the information that I've shared with you in previous video breakdowns, telling you all that in previous market cycles, the XRPL and the XRP digital asset never had a well-matured DeFi ecosystem to help boost it like ETH did. If you're new here, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. Make sure that you stick around for the entirety of this video breakdown. Lots of really good fundamentals for you all today, showing you all that things that we have been saying for months now are really starting to come into fruition, especially developments on the XRPL surrounding the DeFi ecosystem and individuals and institutional interest in the growth of what is about to come for not only the digital asset XRP, but also the XRPL DeFi ecosystem, which is going to be massive in the future as we continue to move forward into 2025 and beyond. You're not going to want to miss a beat on today's video breakdown. So obviously, of course, if you're new here, then you're most likely not familiar with what we've been projecting to the masses, which again, no other influencers on the internet are talking and discussing about the DeFi ecosystem on the XRPL, because a lot of people don't understand and know it. In previous market cycles, and especially when it comes to ETH has been the dominant player in the DeFi ecosystem, and that is now, for the first time ever, especially this year, all about the change. We have ecosystems like the XRPL, Stellar, Hedera, all building out massive DeFi infrastructures this year, and DeFi developments have been off the charts. And I'm going to continue to show that as interest rates go down, which we've been showing you guys has been happening, the search for yield and the appetite for DeFi is only going to continue to increase as we progress in the years to come. And it is going to create massive demand for these digital assets that have never had well-developed DeFi ecosystems like XRP, XLM, HBAR, XDC, so on and so forth. And we've been trying to show you guys this, and now it is all coming into fruition. All of the posts that we've been making to you guys and the information that we've been sharing with you all, putting our money where our mouth is at, has been aging extremely well. So I have to pull this up. I said this back to you guys in July at the beginning of this year. Well, July, middle of this year, but months ago. You get the picture, okay? Last bull market, XRP, XLM, HBAR, our fixated attention on today's video is XRP, had no DeFi ecosystem helping boost momentum like ETH did. That has all changed for the first time ever. Regardless of XRP being utilized for cross-border payments or by banks and financial institutions, let's put that aside and just focus on how much demand is about to be created for the digital asset XRP, just because of the growth of the DeFi ecosystem that we are about to see as financial institutions come into this DeFi space and as regulatory clarity becomes so much more clear. I don't really think people understand what's about to happen. So I had to bring that to everybody's attention. Now, more recently, I'm trying to consistently wake people up to show everybody what has been happening. I said, DeFi on the XRPL is going to be astronomical. When you truly understand DeFi, you truly understand the power of XRP and the power that XRP gives you to be your own bank. Keep in mind, Monica Long said in a post directly from the Ripple website, the integration of RLUSD is both additive and complementary to XRP. She also pointed out that RLUSD delivers value for developers as well. And she also mentioned natively, by using RLUSD on both the XRP ledger and Ethereum blockchains, Ripple enables developers to tap into more use cases, particularly within the decentralized finance space, where crypto and stablecoins are a key ingredient. And the upcoming deployment of the RLUSD, which is coming very soon, if not, by the time I actually release this video, it might have already launched, XRP Ledger gives developers the foundation that they need to build scalable, impactful DeFi applications. This is coming directly from the president of Ripple. All right. I'm not making this up, but again, this stuff goes readily unnoticed. Well, if you guys remember, I'm just show you guys, this isn't to toot my own horn. This is to show you that this is going to continue to freaking scale. This is absolutely essential that you pay attention to some of the information that we've been posting to you guys. 2 months ago, I shared a video breakdown, which we're going to play here in a second, of an individual representative, Paul Brody, saying that DeFi has not come back with a major vengeance yet. And from his perspective, 2 months ago, when I played this video clip, he said that what was going to create demand for DeFi was the lowering of interest rates. And in a video 3 months ago, so 1 month prior to the video of me showing you guys that Paul Brody had said that, who is again the global blockchain leader at EY, one of the major consulting firms. If they're not the top four, they're definitely one of the largest consulting firms on the face of this earth, saying that to you guys. I made a video breakdown about how global central banks were going to start to usher in rate cuts at a rapid pace, and it was only going to continue to grow the demand for DeFi as the search for yield continues to become more appealing to these large financial investors, right? So both of these video breakdowns were from months ago. I just wanted to show you guys that we have been talking about this, especially for you new individuals that might be coming to the CYPRX information for the first time. Now, let's go back, because this is all going to go hand in hand with what's happening today, all right? Let me blow your mind. So just take a second, listen to what Paul Brody said. Remember, this video is from 7 months ago. I publicly played it for you guys 2 months ago. Listen to what he says, and then we're going to fast forward to today's fundamentals, and I'm going to show you how exactly what I was telling you guys months ago is happening in the now. Take a second here and listen to what Paul Brody has to say.
Obviously, DeFi hasn't recovered. If you look at the total money inside of DeFi, it really hasn't come back to its peak. I believe my theory for that, it's just my theory. My theory for that is that one of the reasons is we are in a period of higher interest rates. But what I would argue based on this data is that there are good reasons to think that zero interest rates or even negative interest rates are going to become the norm in the near future. And I think it has to do, and this is my techno optimism, I think it has to do with the fact that we are eventually going to become a post-scarcity society. But I think, as interest rates do eventually come back down, the search for yield is going to go back into overdrive. And then I think that's going to bring back DeFi with a vengeance.
Boom, right? So this just goes to show hand in hand the research that we do here at CYPRX and how it comes into fruition over the course of time. Remember, time literally settles all arguments. So look at this. This is an updated piece from December 3rd, 2024. Central banks extend easing cycle in November as uncertain 2025 looms. 4 major central banks continue to cut rates in November. Monetary easing by central banks across developed and emerging economies trundled along in November, with markets warily gearing up for a new year that could bring tectonic shifts. 4 of the 6 major central banks overseeing 10 of the most heavily traded currencies held meetings in November and lowered their lending benchmarks. Central Bank of New Zealand, Sweden, U.S. Federal Reserve, Bank of England, so on and so forth. Okay, so I'm not making this up. And now, fast forward to today, what are we seeing? Look at this. December 4th, 2024. DeFi TVL soars to a record high above $200 billion. The milestone follows growth of 82% since September, 3 to 2 months ago, when I was sharing this information with you guys, driven by Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Base, and Bitcoin networks, right? Look at this. This is so crazy to see it full circle and come into fruition. I warned you all to be paying attention to DeFi, to not sleep on DeFi, and the proof is in the timestamps. 3 months ago in September, it is now December, right? I told you guys rate cuts were going to bring back DeFi with a vengeance, just like Paul Brody said. It is so easy to see this, right? This is strategic research to show you all what you should be tapped into. So now let me further my case back to how I opened today's call by telling you guys that XRP and the XRPL DeFi ecosystem is going to freaking scale, y'all. Like, you gotta, wow, this is crazy what I'm going to show you guys. So this is a video that was just posted 2 hours ago, has 139 views. This is an individual representative from Archax. Take a second and just listen to what he says about how the DeFi ecosystem is going to become regulated over the next consecutive couple of years. Take a second here and listen.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sort of echo a bit of what Julian and Eddie has said, but I mean, first up, I mean, Archax currently we're very much centralized. We're a centralized exchange. We're a centralized custodian. It's a centralized solution. But that and the reason that's the case is because to be fully regulated, it's a real challenge for regulators because they kind of want someone to be in control. They want someone who's on the hook. So it is a challenge to sort of how regulators view the sort of the DeFi world, exciting though it is. And the challenge then also for institutions is they want to, because they are heavily regulated, they want to transact on regulated venues and regulated services too. So there is a challenge there, but that's not to say it can't happen. I mean, we are working on this now. I mean, we've taken a fork of the Uniswap technology, we've taken a fork of the Aave technology, and we're kind of developing our own regulated versions of that. So you kind of underneath a regulated umbrella, you have regulated instruments on those DeFi venues. And I think that, that is hugely exciting.
That what he just said is so massive. They are literally taking a fork of Aave. They're taking a fork of Uniswap, which are DeFi. Do you understand how massive that he just said? What he just said is they're literally building a regulated DeFi platform. And what just happened? That's not coming from me. That is coming from an individual participant at Archax, posted 2 hours ago, 139 views. Let me again remember what I've posted so far 2-3 months ago about rate cuts, about the demand for yield. The demand for DeFi is going to continue to increase. Now we're seeing TVL soar to new all-time highs in the DeFi ecosystem. You cannot make this stuff up. And what did Archax just announce on this SmartCon platform, the SmartCon 2024? Well, ladies and gentlemen, come on, please. You can't make this up. November 25th, 2024. What happened? Archax, the first FCA-regulated digital asset exchange broker custodian, has provided access to money market funds from the UK asset manager Aberdeen in tokenized form on the XRP ledger, a decentralized blockchain. The fund comprises part of Aberdeen's $3.8 billion liquidity fund, LUX. Fund represents the first token money market fund on the XRPL, further establishing it as one of the leading blockchains for real-world asset tokenization and institutional DeFi. Do you all freaking see that right there? Now, let me continue my case. The next evolution of financial market infrastructure will be driven by the broader adoption of digital security, said Duncan Muir, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly, senior investment manager at Aberdeen. And right down here, he said, we are delighted to be working with Ripple and Archax to deliver this important milestone. Right underneath of this, Marcus Imfinger said, the arrival of Aberdeen's money market fund on the XRPL demonstrates how real-world assets are being tokenized to enhance operational efficiencies while further reinforcing the XRPL as one of the leading blockchains for real-world asset tokenization. This is coming from Marcus Imfinger, Senior Vice President at RippleX. And look at this. They literally did this. Look, right, it says right here, one of the leading blockchains for institutional DeFi. And what did Marcus Imfinger? I shared this with you guys back in October. Look at this. This is a fundamental piece from October 30th, 2024 by Marcus Imfinger. It says it right here on CoinDesk. He wrote this article. And if we scroll right down here to put it in a nutshell, this is again from a month prior. As blockchains offer a path to a more productive financial system, the question is no longer whether institutions will adopt them, but how quickly this transformation will unfold. One thing is clear. This shift is not just redefining finance, it's laying the groundwork for DeFi to become a fundamental part of the global financial markets. Okay. Let me pause right there. So that's coming directly from Marcus Imfinger telling you all that DeFi is about to become a fundamental piece of global financial markets. Archax representative on stage just said they're building a regulated DeFi environment. Ripple just partnered with Archax and Aberdeen to boost institutional adoption of DeFi. Okay, and now hold on. Listen to what this individual representative here says about institutions needing clarity to come into this space. Hold on. Let me play this video clip. This is going to freaking blow your mind. Just listen.
Participating in financial markets were regulated are going to have to change. There's going to be a shift to evolve all this. And coming back to your question, the challenge for institutions is they need clarity around that because it's quite difficult for them to get involved. Anyway. So some of my thoughts anyway.
Absolutely.
Did you hear the vocabulary? He said there's going to need to be a shift in order for financial institutions to get involved in all this. They need regulatory clarity. And what did Marcus Imfinger say? Look at this. He said this shift This vocabulary, I'm telling you guys, is not some coincidence. This shift is not just redefining finance. It's laying the groundwork for DeFi, Okay. I'm not making this vocabulary up to try to get you guys to start paying attention to DeFi. This is what's happening. This is what nobody on the internet is paying attention to. And I've been trying to physically show you guys that via the lack of views from all of these video breakdowns that I've been sharing with you guys on the CYPRX YouTube, via the lack of education amongst the retail crowd in the XRP community who don't even know that they can take their digital asset like XRP, go deploy it in the DeFi ecosystem and earn passive income, that these banks know that this is possible and it's coming. Now, keep in mind, the individual rep from RChex just said a shift is happening and institutions need regulatory clarity. He said before that they are building that environment. They're building a regulated DeFi environment for financial institutions. And let's go back to what Paul Brody said. This is monumental. And I'm going to full circle this now to another video clip from an individual representative, a heavy hitter in the DeFi space in just 1 second. But do you guys remember what Paul Brody said about when the regulatory green light comes into fruition, how much money is going to come into crypto? Take a second here and listen. If you don't remember, and if you're new here, I also played this video clip months ago.
Anything? Yes, right. This part of the conversation is called the Great Liquidity Reservoir, and I am going to struggle to convey just how much capital there is behind this regulatory dam, because the numbers are just monumental, right? How much money is there? Well, let's start with the most liquid of the liquid, right? Bank deposits, stocks, and bonds. $400 trillion, right? Certainly more than my current retirement nest egg, and plenty of money to buy you a nice place in central London or San Francisco, right? 400 trillion. There's another 379 trillion in real estate, right? Gold is 13 trillion by itself. And then you get to the entire crypto ecosystem is like 2.5 trillion, right? I'm not going to say all of this money is going into crypto, but quite a lot of it will end up in crypto, and a huge amount of it is going to end up in tokenized digital assets.
Boom, tokenized digital assets, and a large portion of it is going to end up in crypto. And he's talking about when the regulatory green light is lifted. And what did RChex just say they're building? They're building a DeFi environment that is regulated so financial institutions can get involved. And who just partnered with RChex to enhance DeFi for financial institutions? Ripple. You cannot make this up, people. I am literally giving you all the juice of the juice here. This is not no bullish moonboy hype or price predictions or none of that stuff. I'm physically showing you guys the ins and outs of how there is about to be a massive demand over the next consecutive couple of years, regardless of XRP's utility when it comes to cross-border payments for the digital asset XRP just from DeFi alone. Now, let me further my case, because now DeFi, right? TVL soaring to new all-time highs. We're seeing central banks across the globe cut interest rates at a rapid pace. And now what are we seeing? How DeFi guru Robert Leshner says his VC will cash in on Ripple's XRP frenzy. He is an individual founder of multiple DeFi protocols. And look at what just came out. This is from DeFi Llama News, and it reads, Ripple just won over a DeFi godfather. Robert Leshner, one of the earliest DeFi founders on Ethereum, is now looking to back crypto entrepreneurs building decentralized applications on Ripple. With just 8 DeFi apps and over 5 million user accounts on the XRP ledger, Leshner says that the network's sizable user base is ripe for new products. What makes DeFi on Ripple so exciting is the massive retail user base they've built, even in the absence of on-chain applications. The introduction of DeFi could be met with an extremely active user base. And so now you're seeing literal grandfathers in the DeFi ecosystem. This man was in DeFi in day one talking about Ripple and XRPL. You cannot make this stuff up. And I called this for you guys literally months ago, half a year ago. I told you guys to pay attention to this. Okay. Now, do you all remember what Robert Leshner said here? Pay attention to detail. Take a second and listen in comparison with what Paul Brody said about how much money after the regulatory green light is lifted is about to come on chain.
Over the years that I was involved, and always came out stronger. And on the one hand, I felt like we'd built an incredible ecosystem, but at the same time, you know, what kept on gnawing at me as a DeFi founder was the fact that the assets that were being traded, that were being borrowed, that were being derivatived, that were being used on chain never really seemed to change. It was, Ether, wrapped Bitcoin, a couple governance tokens, a couple stable coins, et cetera. And the list really didn't evolve that much from like 2017, honestly, to 2023. And when I first got started as a builder in crypto, my expectation was like that surely within 5 years of starting, without question, every asset would be on chain, stocks and bonds and commodities and real estate. And, it would all be assets on chain that could fit inside DeFi protocols. But by 2023, nothing was fitting inside DeFi protocols really, besides crypto native assets that were issued for the first time on a blockchain, typically the native token of some other crypto project, never really a non-crypto project. And that was, the available assets to grow the DeFi ecosystem. And the conundrum I saw was that the growth of DeFi as an aggregate would be limited by the assets available to it. And that, if you looked at what was in crypto, it's like, this big, for those listening and not watching, it's like two little fingers, close together. But the assets off chain, all of the rest of the wealth, recorded in really bad ledgers, recorded in spreadsheets and like physical paper that sits in filing cabinets, that wealth is so much larger. I mean, hundreds of trillions of dollars that, doesn't live on chain. And the realization I had, which became like an incredible motivating factor for me, was that by bringing these off-chain assets on chain, the total addressable market of DeFi, in the aggregate would have a significantly larger upper bound in the order of multiple magnitudes. And so the prioritization for me,
just take into consideration what he just said. I played this video for you guys a month ago when it dropped, and it still to this day only has 150 views, which goes to show that what I'm showing you all, no one is paying attention to. We have such an advantage right now here at CYPRX because we're tapped into DeFi. We understand the power of our digital assets. They're not liabilities where people are gonna sell their, oh my goodness gracious, it's so crazy what's happening right now. People's mindsets, they think that the road to wealth is selling digital assets like XRP that are super powerful, and this new financial system that we're heading into for fiat is the road to wealth, when in reality, we've never had a DeFi ecosystem on the XRPL before, where we've been able to take our XRP and earn passive income in many different ways by utilizing our XRP in DeFi. And that is all happening for the first time ever. And founders in the DeFi ecosystem that have been here for years building up the DeFi ecosystem are now starting to pay attention to that. You cannot make this stuff up. And we've been calling this out left and right at the forefront of this, showing you guys devils in the details. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. The demand for XRP as the institutional DeFi adoption continues to thrive, and as the regulatory clarity continues to develop, is only going to increase the demand for XRP. I cannot even stress it is going to take time. This is not some overnight Moonboy get rich quick video. I'm physically showing you all that 6 months ago I was telling you guys this has happened. Now we're here 6 months into the future. DeFi is going to continue to grow based off the environment that's being continuously built for the environment to grow successfully. That's regulatory clarity. That's more assets that you're allowed to utilize in the DeFi ecosystem, having built DeFi infrastructures like XRP, XLM. Not only that, but the appetite and the search for yield increasing as major central banks all across the globe continue to cut rates heading into 2025. You cannot make this stuff up. I cannot stress enough that now is the time to educate yourself in the DeFi ecosystem. Even if you're not going to deploy, at least know what DeFi is, the ins and outs, how you can get involved whenever you're ready to do so, and how you can start to earn passive income on your digital assets, because these financial institutions are coming. They are coming, and they are going to jack up the prices of these digital assets at such an unprecedented value that most people are not even going to be able to comprehend what's going on when these prices really start to soar because of the institutional adoption that is coming. Again, to each his own. We'd love to have you on the team over here at CYPRX, the Wealth 28 Club, the DeFi University. We still have the 20% off holiday discount where you guys can get 20% off your first month. Come tap in. There's literally over 100 video breakdowns taking you from A to Z to teach you all about DeFi and to really get you to understand and see the transformative wave that we are currently living through. And if you don't want to access the Wealth 28 Club, the DeFi University, and you just want the free stuff, totally understandable. Head over to the CYPRX YouTube playlist section and search for the yield playlist and watch those video breakdowns and educate yourself on what is happening in the near future moving forward. I cannot stress enough that now is the time to further that education. As always, many blessings to you guys. I'm always trying to give you guys the best of the best, showing you all that all of this stuff is unfolding at a rapid pace and actually putting my money where my mouth is at, showing you guys timestamps of when I was talking about this and really showing you all how things are going to continue to progress over time. As always, be cognizant out there. Please be careful who it is that you're listening to. No bullish moonboy hopium or hype here at CYPRX, just solid research. With that being said, make sure that you're subscribed before you hop off here. Do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button, and I will see you all in the next video breakdown.